Hey everyone, in this video we're going to talk about the best and the worst things about running a small business and give you some top tips for if you're just starting out or whether you're a veteran small business holder. Quick side note, this is here because I'm in an Airbnb staying away. So this is my temporary home, which also has a bit more space in the caravan. So I've decided to do the interview with myself while I'm here. All the people interviewed in this video are people I've met through the channel. So you may have seen we do documentaries and tutorials and different things. And these are guys that I've met to do those basically. They're just for this channel. It's not through another way. They range in experience and obviously what they do as well. But I'll tell you what, instead of me introducing them all, I'll just let them do it.
Okay, my name is Tom. I am a bushcraft and wilderness survival instructor, and I am also a YouTuber.
I'm Brian Trubshaw. I run Journeyman Handcrafts, which is a wax canvas and leather outdoor gear manufacturing business.
Anuna Healing is a hypnotherapy business run by myself and my amazing partner, and we give people tools to change their lives, whether it's through hypnotherapy or whatever you need from me to help you with those changes. I'm willing to do.
My name's Nigel Armitage. I own and run Armitage Leather here in the Midlands, Burton-upon-Trent in Staffordshire. I have been a leather worker now since I started some 33 years ago. I focus mainly on handmade bespoke items made to order. I also teach both face-to-face here in the workshop, groups, individuals, and I also have a large resource of online training material on Vimeo.
I'm Jamie Dakota. I run Howl Bushcraft. We essentially teach people wilderness travel skills, so how to interact with the natural environment whilst making journeys in order to hopefully have more of a connected experience with the landscape through which you're moving.
And me, Jason, I've got just over a decade's experience running my own video production company. So first of all, what's the best and the worst thing about running a small business?
The changes you make to people's lives, for me personally, is one of the best things about my small business. The worst thing I would say is probably the pressure, because it is you. You have to make all the decisions. You have to keep it going. You have to keep the momentum up. There's no boss to tell you what to do. You have to do it yourself. So you have to make sure you've got enough energy and motivation to keep it going.
Best thing is the more I put in, the more I get out. I benefit from everything good I do. The worst thing is, if there's a cock up, it's on me. I am responsible. I benefit the most. I also am the most responsible. There's nobody to pass the buck to. You can't ask a grown-up to come and help you out because you're it.
I have full creative control over everything that I do. So every element of my business is me. You know, it's an extension of my personality, my creative nuances. It's lonely sometimes. You know, I get to do everything, but I also have to do everything. So every element of the business demands my time and my efforts. That might change in time, you know, if I'm able to take on staff and that sort of thing. But where I'm at now, everything that gets produced is me. So yeah, it would be nice to get to a position where the business is able to sustain 2 or 3 incomes so that I can work with people in that way.
Best thing about running a small business is watching it grow, watching it come from something that I remember it being absolutely nothing. You know, I remember it being a hobby, and thinking back to what it was then and what it is now and where I want it to go. Just watching that development take place day to day is I absolutely love it. The worst thing about running your own business is it can be quite stressful sometimes. Different stress to what I would say I used to have in my old job, but still stress in its own way, because there's a lot of new things happening that I've never done before, never experienced before, and it's just kind of working your way through those things.
Favorite thing about running a small business or my own business is I'm free to do what I want. I don't need to answer to anyone. It's like the flip side of the coin of the pro is that you make all the decisions, and you have to make all the decisions, and you are completely alone in all of that, and you don't have a teammate to bounce off ideas. And so the first year of being self-employed, it was quite scary, and anxious because just didn't know where the money was going to come from and all that stuff. So that's the downside. And also, being your own boss, you have to learn it to be a good boss to yourself. Because again, that first year, I didn't let myself have many breaks or holidays or rests. So that can be a downside sometimes. I'm getting better at it though.
Some amazing points, as always. I think for me, the best thing without copying Jamie is the complete creative control. The worst thing though is probably an only child thing, is the fact that I love to share ideas and share that kind of passion that I have for something with others. And as well as that, it's having to have difficult conversations. So for example, a difficult conversation with a customer because basically you've got to tell them off or you've got to chase them for some reason. I'll tell you how I deal with those two in my top tip in a minute. Now though, let's hear everyone else's top tip for running a small business.
Be good at what you do. There's no other way of doing it. It doesn't matter how clever you are at marketing, how convincing you are. If your product isn't up to scratch, you may sell and be successful to start with, but you'll decline because of your reputation. Be good at what you do, whatever that be.
Top tip for running a small business would be to pick a business that you don't mind sitting up till 2 o'clock every morning working on, would be my top tip. It's as simple as that.
Why is that?
Because you do. Yeah, you stay up every night until, well, not every night, but you put so much into it to make it work. It's like a relentless and constant effort to keep it working, unless you happen to hit upon something that just takes off and suddenly is out of your hands and it self-perpetuates. My experience has been that you work at it a lot, and yeah, I mean, if you're going to be doing it for yourself, that you need to have that internal motivation. So if it's something that you care about enough that almost without thinking about, you're motivated to keep working at it, then that's what you'll get.
Stay organised, especially for myself. If you're a one-man band, it probably doesn't matter too much, but we're scaling up now and there's more people involved, it's important to kind of know what other people are doing, otherwise it can get a little bit confusing.
Top tip of running a small business, I would say keep it simple. Give a clear objective, breakdown of how you're going to get there, and just focus on ticking each one off and try and maintain your energy for the long game.
Don't rush, take your time and make sure it'll happen when the time's right anyway, like it did for me.
And mine is surround yourselves with other people who are passionate about a similar thing to you. It might be the exact same or something similar. So to give you an example of that, when me and Alicia lived in Derby, I had various different studios that were shared with other filmmakers like myself. So sometimes they were people who I freelance for or freelance for me, and that often meant that I'd be editing something and I'd be like, oh, I don't know, I really like this. What it needs something, I don't know what, and then I just look over and be like, Neil, come here, Neil, can you have a look at this for us? And then it inevitably say, why haven't you just done that? And I'd be like, that's it, brilliant, and vice versa. And dealing with having to have difficult conversations, then you just need to get an Alicia. Because that's what I've got. Basically, whenever I have to, for example, a customer has not paid when they said they would, or they've clearly asked too much after it's already been quoted, and you have to inevitably have a difficult conversation, whether that's sort of telling them off or basically setting the record straight. I am not very good at that, and I am happy to own up to it, that it's hard, especially when it's over text, so email or kind of not on the phone or not in person. I find that very difficult because I find it hard enough to write anyway. I just hate how I feel like I'm coming across. Whereas Alicia doesn't share that, and she is more than happy to, I think maybe because she's got a bit more of a scientific background, she's happy to just put things clear and concise and black and white, so that and can just do it quick as well. So my advice is, if you have difficult conversations to have as part of your business, it's get an Alicia. Now, it is hard to run your own company. I'm not going to lie, there's unknowns. The biggest one being you don't know where money's coming from. something like, you know, what happened in 2019 and 2020, my work just plummeted. I tried to play that to an advantage, and I did a lot of work for this channel and a lot of time and planning, preparation, that kind of thing. But inevitably, like I say, it was sometimes you don't know where the rent's coming from that next month. And that's part and parcel of owning a small company. But if you're just starting out, I think a piece of advice I'd give is try and make educated risks. So to give you an example, I rented equipment for the longest time. And this was mainly because when I started out, Alicia was paying the rent for us. And I was working at Nando's and doing things part-time. So the only time I could spend money on kit was when I was earning the money to pay for that kit. Now, yes, that's difficult, and sometimes it's having friends that you can beg and borrow kind of stuff from. But as you grow, so for example, the camera that I'm filming this on, I only bought this last year, and this is the first camera I've ever owned, and that's in just over a decade of running a film production company. And that's because what it came down to was, if within a set amount of time, so whether that's 6 months or a year for yourself, the piece of equipment has to have paid for itself and then some. But the major tip is you have to love what you do. That's what will keep you going at 2 o'clock in the morning when you've got a deadline the next day and you've done a 14-hour day, but you have to just get it done. That's the thing that's going to keep you going, is the fact that you enjoy it. It's things like doing research and playing with ideas in your free time. So it's technically work, but it's actually because you enjoy it. So for me, that's trying out filmmaking techniques, that's watching Peter McKinnon's videos, that's doing things that are just, you know, kind of fun to me, but actually that's actually what I do for a job as well. And that makes a massive difference. My first ever project, the first thing that I did for video making was basically how to use Windows Movie Maker. And it was in IT, so it was one module out of it. And I remember, especially being that I was quite a C student through a lot of GCSE, that was the first project I ever got an A on. And the simple fact was, I went home and just spent the weekend playing. To me, it wasn't work, it wasn't homework, it wasn't school. I didn't really enjoy a lot of the other things, whereas this, it was just fun. So that's not work. And I came back and I obviously because I'd spent so much time playing, learning, I did a pretty good job. And that's it. That's what will keep you going. Okay, everyone, thanks again. If you liked this video, please hit the like button below. Subscribe to the channel. We're still very small, so if you can share it with anyone you think that might be interested, that'd be very much appreciated. There'll be links down below for some of the other videos that we've done with the guys that are in this one. And if you stick around to the end, there's a playlist for all the different videos that we've done that are within this kind of similar mindset. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.